Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Real Talk here in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Good old Shelbyville, Tennessee.
And Shelbyville now. I'm David Thomas, and this Bo Gill. Bo, we've got some stuff we want to talk about.
Yep.
Of course, this is kind of turned into Tariff Update City.
Yes, it is.
One of the big things that came out over the weekend was President Trump basically told Walmart he was watching them because they came out and said, we're going to have to raise our prices.
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you. If you're in business and you sell products, you're going to have to raise your prices if you're paying a tariff. That's just the bottom line.
That's the only thing these tariffs do, and we're paying it.
And Trump don't want them to. Well, they don't make money when they don't raise their prices.
You either eat it and you lose money, or you go up.
You can't eat it.
Yeah, you can't eat it.
He said they had plenty of money. Well, let me explain something to you. When you got plenty of money, that means you're making money.
That's right.
All right, and you've got the money. And then when you start losing money, you don't have no money. All right, that's just all right.
That's right.
So it's pretty basic math. You got to have a calculator out.
Exactly.
And you can't just say you're gonna eat it.
No.
I got news for you.
No.
If our little business were to try to eat the tariffs, it's more than we can swallow.
That's right. And also, we don't need to be going around the presidents or anybody telling businesses what they have to do as far as.
Well, Walmart responded today. They pretty much come out and said, we always try to hold our prices down.
Yeah.
But when we have to raise our prices, we raise our prices, and the tariffs are they're going to cause us. Wow, there's some thunder.
There's some thunder.
We got some around. We've been watching, keeping an eye on radar. We've got a line of storms around the Tennessee River right now. Just to break off this for a second, let everybody know.
Yes.
We do have some storms that are coming through. We do have a tornado watch out here in Bedford County until 10 o'clock tonight.
That's right.
So keep your eyes tuned in. I don't think it's going to be terribly severe because it's kind of scattered, but that line is picking up steam, and as it comes into the warm air, we might have a severe storm coming through.
We might. So be aware. Be aware.
Right, but the deal. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Stephen Gall's there. So Trump was kind of taunting them a little bit, like I'm watching, but we got an email today from two other vendors. Okay.
Bad news?
Of course. I mean, everything's going up.
Yeah.
And it's going up about 18, 19, 20%. There's one company that we have been buying some toys from. It's like some little gifts for children.
Mm-hmm.
And they're adding 20% to their prices because of the 10% tariff.
So these are coming from China, I assume.
They're just coming from everywhere. So right now it's 10% everywhere and 10% more on everywhere. Wow. So India supposedly has offered a zero tariff on all American products coming into the country. We have no progress that we have heard about. Now, I'm sure behind the scenes there's some working going on.
Yes. There are negotiations going on, and then the decision or whatever will come out of the blue. I have a feeling. We don't know when, we don't know where, or how much. It would be ideal if we could get a zero baseline, but is that realistic?
Yes. I don't know why we have to have tariffs, but Trump has said 10%. He sees that as just another tax to grab money from.
Well, I get that, but I do get the tax, and especially if you're going to incentivize Americans by lowering tax with this big, beautiful bill that we can talk about later.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. The question is, are you going to lower it enough to make up the difference? If it's a wash, why even do the tariffs?
Exactly. I'm like you. I'm for the zero. I just feel like, are we going to get there, or is it becoming just a weaponization type?
I don't know. But I'll just say this: I voted for Trump. I'm a conservative.
Yes.
I like everything that's taking place. I like Doge. I like finding this waste and abuse and corruption and getting rid of it.
Yes.
But I think it's like playing whack-a-mole. I know he has taken a stronger approach to draining the swamp. But I'm telling you, man, I don't think it's possible to drain that swamp.
Well, it's not possible in 4 years. It's going to take several terms of probably of conservative presidents and with the American people getting fed up with and not standing for this left-wing garbage that we've been put down our throats since the Obama administration.
Well, it's been going on,
or even before then, but really hard.
If you look at the biggest left-wing move that's ever taken place in our country, is the Patriot Act. This Real ID garbage is coming up right now because of the Patriot Act.
Yes. which was in
2004,
Four.
after 2001,
Attacks.
after 9/11.
Yes.
They came out with parts of it, but the real ID was based on 2004. Some people say, well, it's like it's gonna help protect you because we're gonna watch and track terrorists with it. Well, then why do we have to get it?
That's fine and dandy, but look, the thing that's going to protect us is the Second Amendment, and that's being armed at home. That's the only thing that's going to protect you. No ID.
All right, so shifting toward this new tax bill and spending bill, there are several conservatives, Rand Paul, Chip Roy, the Massey gentleman from Kentucky, Thomas Massey.
Yes.
They're not voting for it because it's got too much spending in
Yeah.
it. Massey said that it would add $10 trillion in debt to our current debt over a 10-year period if we pass what all's in there and all the plans that come in with it. But I think you go back and you fact check him. He's overestimating some things. It's more like 5 to 6 trillion.
Yes,
but that's a ton.
It's a lot. I mean, yeah, it's like, okay, we've got Doge. We're weeding out the money here. We're making the savings, and we're going to add this now. The things that he's adding, it's going to be big time tax incentives. That's what yes, for me. I want the tax incentive. But I think a lot of these expenditures are on like the wall. The wall is in this. And I think that is it time to do the wall? I mean, if we're cutting expenses, should we just cut them, or shall we cut them and then, let's go on and put the wall in there?
Well,
I'm for both of them.
It's
hard.
Ask you this. Do we need the wall? We got it shut down.
We got it shut down pretty good. I don't know. It seems like the wall's, but for future generations and for the future, because President Trump is only a president for a short time, and who knows what comes after. So, yeah, I would say for long-term security, we do need the wall. But is this the right, is that the right time to do it or not? But these tax incentives sound great.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's done a great enough sell job on it. And the other side has really been hitting it hard with, just because the way nobody
knows what's in it.
No, I've combed over it, and that's how I'm giving you this information. But I don't know what's really in it.
Yeah,
because
there's so much.
There's no telling.
I mean, there's still these pet projects, and there's still going to be corruption. There's still going to be theft. There's going to be people get rich off of it.
Oh yeah.
I just wish we could just get bare minimum spending and take all these pet projects out of it. And by the way, that's rain. If you can hear it, it's
it is coming down
here. Right here in downtown Shelbyville, right in the middle of town.
That's right.
Keep your eyes tuned into the weather, and
it's coming down hard.
Listen to us. But it's a quick shower, and it sounds like it's moving on by. But getting back to the bill, I think if it adds $5 trillion of debt, I think the objective is to get rid of debt.
It is, but I think the objective is to get rid of debt, but it's to get rid of stupid debt, like the stupid, the ridiculous things, if I shall say.
There's a lot of that.
But I mean, this seems more money for a wall seems, and money to update. Another one's on there is update the air traffic control.
Air traffic control, that's needed.
I think these two things, they're not like.
But this is like this much of what this spending bill is. It's just a little fraction.
And that's a little part. But so who knows what's the rest of it? I have confidence in the Trump administration that they're going to do the right thing. That I know we're going to have to spend money, but I hope that we can cut a lot more.
One thing that people don't realize, that Trump's first administration, his 45, he put on just as much debt to the debt as Obama did.
He did.
Okay, for the last 4 years of Obama, 4 years is about the same. Biden, about the same. It seems like it's just a cookie cutter. Every 4 years, same garbage.
They're not addressing the balance in the budget and taking care of that debt. They're borrowing. I think if they could address a way to start taking care of some of that debt and getting away instead of just borrowing. You've seen the ticker of the debt, and it's just always constantly growing. When they used to have that on TV, it's growing all the time. So
I'm trying to look at this radar, Bo, to see, and I can't get anything to come up.
Yeah. It's coming hard out there. So
there
just
we
slow down if you're driving. Watch out for the puddling. There are some warnings out. Well,
it looks like we got just a little passing shower again. But yeah, Bo, we've got to save money. We've got to cut the budget. And I think when you look at the tariff situation, I think Trump feels like he keeps the taxes coming in, income tax wise, a little bit lower, keep the things in place that he had before, then bring tariffs in that we're going to start attacking that. But that's just more tax on us. We're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no way you can make real tax cuts if you're spending a lot of money to.
Yeah,
it's a complicated puzzle, but I don't know where we're going to go, and I don't know this budget will pass. I mean, it does have a lot of opposition.
It's going to be tough. They're going to take some stuff out of it, I believe, to get. I think to get Rand Paul and Chip Roy and Thomas Massey's vote, which to me they're three key conservatives in my opinion. I mean they're no nonsense.
And that vote takes place. It's this week sometime. We'll later in the week when we get on here, we'll update some of the things on that.
All right, let's shift toward local. School's about out. Graduation for Shelbyville Central High School is tonight. Got moved to tomorrow.
Yes.
And I don't know I don't know what the weather is for tomorrow, but I think it's going to clear out and maybe they can get that done. But Bo, you were at a meeting today.
Yes,
that is hosted by Cooper Steel.
Yes,
it's about improving our lives here in Shelbyville, Bedford County area. Tell me a little bit about that.
We had an update. It's with TIP Strategies. They're a company not from around here. They've been brought in to study. What does Shelbyville look like in 70 years? That's one of the numbers that they're using. And we talk about where we are now and where we want to go, where we were too in the past. There's a lot of things. It's about getting better growth here. I guess you would say the word growth, but ultimately it's a Cooper Steel initiated project, and they want more workers at their private business. They would like to have more quality workers instead of having to train them and all that. So it's working out for them, but it's going to benefit them, this study, I believe, if we can implement it and work together. But it's going to benefit this whole community. We've got city leaders there, some county leaders there, and we're in several.
When you say leaders, you mean the mayors,
representatives? Mayors, yes.
The mayor's there.
You got the county mayor was not there today, but you had the city mayor. You had all of the city councilmen there today, and actually Scott Collins was there.
Okay, he's the city manager.
Okay. So and the city was really represented well there.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, Bo, and I harp on this all the time. Those are our elected representatives that we hire to not lead, but to hire to manage
to manage
the money and to manage the services and our infrastructure.
That's correct.
I think the leaders were sitting around that table that aren't elected. I mean, the ones that come up with the ideas and implement them.
That's right.
Those are the true leaders, and you got to give your hats off to Gary Cooper.
I give my hat off to him. He's in this study. This is his heart and soul, and it's not just for Cooper Steel. It's for Shelbyville.
Yeah,
he's talked about the vision he has for Shelbyville, and he's talked about what he's seen Shelbyville be in the past and how he wants it to be. Instead of just saying, "Oh, we're in Shelbyville." No, have you seen Shelbyville? You need to come. Shelbyville is the going thing. They want to kind of emphasize that we're not, a kind of dead old town. We're Shelbyville, but we've got to keep some of the characteristics that we are. And that's one of the things that we were talked about today was, the things that make us Shelbyville, the walking horse celebration, the pencil city, the river that we have there. But it's the people mainly that make it there. But it's a really good.
There you hit the key word. Shelbyville is nothing but a piece of land, and with some buildings.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Dwelling places and roads and lights and bridges and flumes that collapse and I'm being serious. I mean, it's infrastructure.
Yeah, it is.
But that's when you take the people out, it's nothing.
Nothing.
It's the people.
It's the people.
So if we want to see our lives improve and things improve as far as our way of life, it's dependent upon people.
Yeah.
And it's dependent upon the type people that we have here.
It's healthy relationships and good people, moral people, Christian people, good people that want to help each other. They want to just help, not just make money on an issue. They want to help a neighbor. They want to start clubs that help thrive with young.
Okay,
young
so all right. throw some ideas out that came out today. What were some of the ideas? Maybe
one of the ideas that came out was preserving the our integrity of the buildings that we have. A lot of buildings we have in town, or some of them are going down, and some of the houses right outside of the square area are really dilapidated.
Yeah, we talked about this.
And that's one of the things that was brought up today was how can we incentivize to get these buildings, how can we incentivize owners of these buildings to improve them? Another thing that was discussed was, here we are, we've got the 231, the main corridor there. How is that growth going to look? What are we going to do there? Is that going to be commercial? Or are we going to develop with residential dwellings? And what about the water situation there? We've got so many. The main point that came away from today was, and I think that on one of the questions that was asked, and most people agreed on this, is we have to get our infrastructure ready. Our infrastructure has to be ready and right for the population growth that we are seeing and that we're going to continue to see.
Miss Connie Hasty brings up, I really think the Horse Show Association, the celebration, should let the schools hold their graduation ceremony there. The people of Bedford County have supported the show when others didn't go to the show. The only problem that was attempted, Miss Connie, but what's happened is we have a conflict because the fun show is this week in Cooper Steel Arena.
Yeah, they had those in the years past.
Yeah, in the years past they've had them, but the weeks fell a little bit different.
Yes.
And this time we've got a horse show taking place, and there's a conflict.
Oh, yes.
And so that's a problem.
It is a problem. And look, it's not that they probably didn't try. I don't know.
No, they tried.
But let me tell you, Cooper Steel Arena is a different place than it was just a year ago. It is top notch. They've got new everything. I invite anybody to go out there and check it out, check out the fun show. But yes, they have used that in the past for graduations. And this time they tried, but
it's got a conflict.
Yeah.
I don't think the celebration has the staff that it takes to actually swap out. Now, I think it was offered to get some help, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out because the fun show's there. Okay,
right.
You could probably have pulled it off, but the attempt wasn't made.
Back to the conversation. Then we've got the park. The park was mentioned of how that needs to be. More of a central location, or for the community to come, more events help, but it has to be the people that want to participate. I mean, we could have, you can have the water for the horse, but it's up to him to drink. I like where all of these ideas are going, but I think that, Mr. Cooper, Gary wants to see this out. We've met 3 times in the last 3 months, and that's intentional to keep, people that want this stuff together, to keep not just talking, but how are we going to do this? Are we going to send out newsletters? What do we do? What does that look like?
The biggest thing, Bo, I think word of mouth.
Yes.
People talking about, people have to get excited about the vision.
Yes.
Okay. So whatever that vision looks like, do we want to turn ourselves into Murfreesboro? I say that's a no.
No.
Do we want to turn ourselves into Franklin?
No.
I'd say that's no. Do we want to turn ourselves into Lynchburg? I'd say no. I think we want to turn ourselves into a better version of Shelbyville.
Yeah, that's right. And we've got it. I mean, we've got a perfect place here. We've got a beautiful square. Look at the square nowadays.
Okay. All right. So all of these things that we're talking about and the ideas, okay, the park complex was built in the early 90s. It's late 90s probably.
Yeah, you're talking about the rec center.
The rec center.
Yeah, early 90s, yeah.
90s, I think it was more like 98, 99, somewhere around. I can't remember now. My sister was the treasurer when all that happened. It loses money every year.
Yes.
I think people have got to be willing to pay for some of the stuff.
Yes.
Okay. And not just tax money, but go join as a family. Pay more to swim. Pay more to use the facilities, because it takes money. And do we want our property taxes to go up? And they're going to.
And that's what happened at the rec center recently. They had to go up on their daily fee because
it's only $5.
It's only $5. It was $3, but we need to participate. We need to go there more. It wouldn't go up probably any, but it's only $5. You're right. They have been at $3 since it started. So
yeah. What does it cost to use a tennis court?
Yeah.
What does it cost to use a pickleball court? Nothing.
Nothing.
You just show up.
You show up. It's a great resource, and it's nice. They're always updating it. But that is one place. Look, when I was a kid, we had, baseball, youth league baseball was a big thing, and
it's gone.
And it's, and there are soccer and different things, but you travel out of town, but there's nothing like that, being here.
We talked about this on the sports show Saturday. It costs a lot to play travel ball now. You got a lot of families that sit that out because they just can't afford to be gone. First of all, they're going to have to leave and take off work on Fridays, and they're gone till Sunday, and they're going to miss church.
Yes.
But you got a lot of kids out here that would play ball. Now, there's a fifth grade and under league, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was. That's starting. There's 5 teams in it. So I'm glad to see a baseball league crank up now for that age group, the second, third, fourth, fifth graders.
All that age groups. Josh Carney, who works for the county, has a son my age. Sorry, Josh, has a son my daughter's age. And he is really, because he experienced Babe Ruth baseball like I did when I was young. He is trying to spearhead
that's
that.
That's the
going.
league. That's league.
That's what we want to feel back. We're in a 15U. My daughter is a softball. There's only 3 teams, and I know it's girls and it's harder, but it's because there's a lot of travel.
I think it's going to take people like them, the Carneys, to take an interest in it and not rely on our staff at the park complex because they got their hands full already.
They do.
They need organizations to start to build, create a league, start the leagues back, and it's family oriented, and that's family gathering place.
There were people like Jerry Nairn and people in the past that were just like for baseball, and whenever they did that back then, and whenever they went away, the staff didn't do it. So we need those type of figures.
All right, those have vanished with this travel ball stuff.
Yes.
All right, we mentioned the celebration earlier. Celebration back in when I was growing up, when you were growing up, it was a 2-week period of time that everybody looked forward to throughout the year. Everything was promoted. There were events around it. It was a place you wanted to be. Now I don't see that.
It was a celebration, just like the name says.
Yeah, I mean, it was not just a horse show. No. It was a reunion. Okay?
Vendors set up everywhere. I mean, yes.
That's just not there. Of course, the horse industry has had its troubles for the last 20 years, but still, the community. I mean, our county government, our city government should be promoting this. Individuals that are out there, the civic clubs need to get back involved in it, which they have been pulled out of it. I think they need to inject themselves into it more.
Yes, the city and the county need to inject themselves into it more, and then you'll get more out of it. Look, we've got a stadium in the middle of Shelbyville. I think we can do more with that stadium besides a horse show.
And it's not just Cooper Steel Arena. No. We've got this outdoor stadium
that's
over
what I'm
here.
talking about.
We should be able to have concerts.
Yeah.
With this comes the problem. All right. And the problem is infrastructure to handle any crowd. We don't have the restaurants we need.
No.
And we don't have the hotels that we need for events like this.
No, we don't.
This came up in a conversation I was having today.
Mm-hmm.
We got Hampton Inn that, I don't know what's happened to it. It was supposed to come. But it's hard to get these types of businesses here because it's a big risk. Yes. It's a financial risk. So we have to start going ahead and planning these things and having these events, utilizing what we do have. And then Tullahoma has hotels. Murfreesboro has hotels. You start putting these people in here. It's not a long drive.
No.
You got to sell them on our facility.
You do.
To the point to where they don't look at the hotel situation as much.
That's right.
You start getting these crowds in here, then Hampton Inn's going to start digging, turning dirt. You're going to have maybe a restaurant or two coming in because there is a crowd here.
Yeah, the hotels would be here if they knew that there was that big. You would think that the demand is huge, but apparently not because they're not
a demand. There's not a demand. We've got hotels that stay half empty all the time.
Yes.
All right, you got to have an occupancy rate up there to where Hampton Inn says, okay, now if Hampton Inn comes in, I think they'll get a lot of business because they're upscale. I mean, they're a higher, middle of the road, high end. Okay.
And if we could get some more events in the outside arena, that's a perfect place for a concert. Right. I mean, I think, I don't know what's holding them back.
Got to do it. And I don't know. Somebody has got to he's got to put some fuel in the tank.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to take people getting excited about the vision.
Yeah.
And I hope this group can cast a vision for not turning us into another town,
No.
but turning us into the best Shelbyville we can be.
That's what's number one there.
Right.
Yes. Right. And it's a good group of folks. And I look forward to the next time we get together. And I look forward to this, what TIP strategies have to offer at the report at the end. And I'll be glad to share with everyone here, because we all need to be on the same vision. If we've got a vision, you know, it might not every aspect might not be the same, but we need to know, you know, and we need to know, well, what do you think? You know, it's good. That's it. Creating conversations, it never hurts.
No, for sure. Well, Bo, we've rambled long enough.
Yeah,
I hope everybody gets some ideas stirring. There is some things going on as far as trying to plan how we look down the road.
Yes.
And it's the first time it's happened.
It's the first time it's ever happened.
We never really had a vision cast for what Shelbyville needs to look like. But for us to cast this vision, this group of people have to look at who we are right now.
That's right. We do. We have to look at where we've been, where we are.
It's all about people.
And where we're going. And you're right. And it takes work. It takes work, and it takes time, and you have to just give yourself. You have to give your time.
Yep. That's it. Everybody, thanks for watching. Stay tuned tonight to the weather. I know Shelbyville Weather is probably going to be doing some live streaming. Check out Elijah there and make sure you've got your eyes on that.
Yes.
In case we have the severe weather develop as anticipated.
Be safe.
But thanks for watching. We'll be back again later this week and give some updates on some of these things. And
yes, sir.
Who knows what law will come up.
It'll happen. We'll talk.